Hello, my fellow vampires! This is Mloentje, and welcome back to V Rising. I came to the realization that I am limiting myself immensely, and it is not in like one area, it is in multiple areas. And the first area I kind of noticed is I really love my base here. I really love my base. I find that it looks really good for the room that I have right now. If I look at the next expansion, we're gonna need, like I have dark silver ingots, no issue anymore. Although issue, we'll come to that in a second. Spectral dust probably in like 4 bosses, I think, V bosses. The gold ingot is like 8 bosses away, something like that. So 8 bosses, that means at least 20 days away before I can actually upgrade this castle. And although I really love this castle, I'm also kind of starting to don't like my castle. Simply because of, well, how I need to split up my rooms and how small they are. So I wanted to make new gear for my servants. My servants need new gear as well. New weapons, new armor as well. Basically because I need to be tougher and need to be able to farm in bigger and better areas. Because the room is so small and I only had one loom, it took me 4 hours to make enough cotton yarn to actually make up all the gear. That is way too slow. Like, for progression, for me personally, that is way too slow. And then we come to the second part. Again, with production being way too slow, we come to the realization that making dark silver ingots, we also already noticed it, but making dark silver ingots is hell of expensive and hell of time consuming. And it's not because of the silver, it's because of the scorch stone. And the scorch stone delay is in the grave dust. I have a couple spots that I can farm grave dust in, and that is basically Forgotten Cemetery is a really good spot. I think every 10 minutes I can get my hands on around 300 to 400. I can basically farm Church of the Damned, and if I'm really lucky, get like between 5 and 8 scorch stones, but usually a run is like 3 to 5 scorch stones. And that is every 10 minutes. I can get my hands on some grave dust, I can get my hands on some bones, but it's still too slow. I could set up like 12 tombs, which is still the best bone farm you can create in this game, as far as I understand it. Now basically you spawn in 3 skeletons, you have 12 tombs, meaning 36 skeletons, every 4.5 minutes, that each give 10 bones, meaning you can get your hands on 360 bones every 4.5 minutes. That is the best bone farm you can create in this game. Farming up the grave dust, because it's 75 for 1 grave dust, and you need 3, making it a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster to actually make the scorch stones. Now, there are some other issues I'm kind of having. Like, I have a lot of plans for this base, or I had a lot of plans for this base, I kind of say. I kind of want to make like a big dining area in this base and make like a really giant farm for flowers in this base. And I wanted to do a lot of stuff with this base, but I kind of did a little research on how big the borders are. 250 is the max, and I'm not really sure if with 250 is gonna be enough to give me all the room that I want. And then we come to the next part, and that is actually the servants. We come back to the servants. So right now, for a completely upgraded base, you can have 9 servants. If you look at the map basically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones. This zone is, I think it's gonna release at the end of the year, November, or I think November, somewhere in November. I think maybe later, maybe sooner, but yeah, around the end of the year. So if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones, the biggest area that you can send NPCs at is per tree in the Haunted Iron Mines, for instance, or per tree in the Sacred Silver Mine. Meaning you kind of want to have 3 NPCs out of Silver Light. You want to have 3 NPCs for Farmlands. You want to have 3 NPCs for Farbane. You want to have 3 NPCs for Cursed Forest. And if you can only have 9 in one castle, that means you cannot have 3 for every zone. And that's where my realization came in. We have 2 castle hearts. We can build 2 castles. And that would actually fix all my issues. If I could make a castle that is basically only for production, and make a castle that is only for aesthetics, like a giant castle with a throne room and a dining hall and a bunch of paintings, like just make a beautiful, beautiful, like, grand castle. And just make a simple castle or simpler castle just only for production. It also means I can set up double the graveyard farms. It also means that I have more room for flower farms, meaning that for end game progression, I can set up easier ways to farm for myself. And that is basically the realization that I made. I love my base, I love my location, but if we look at the future, and even in the close future, I'm gonna be spending a lot more time farming in Silverlight Hills. Basically for the patterns that I need. It's not patterns. It is, what was it? The schematics? No, the stuff we need for the next research bench. So if we go to the V-Bloods, for the Athenaeum. For the Athenaeum, we're gonna need not scrolls, but the next part for... and we basically can only farm them, as far as I saw, in Silverlight Hills. So we're gonna be spending a lot more time there. Eventually, we're gonna move to the Cursed Forest. And then at the end of the year, we're gonna move here. So having my castle here and always need to run to the far ends of the map to always run back, it's not efficient anymore. It's not gonna be efficient anymore. So if I look in the grand scheme, if they eventually, if you look at the map, and they would implement a new continent, maybe next year somewhere, the only part that I see that it can make a new continent is over here. So if I look in the grand scheme of where this game might go and where I need to go, then the best course of action is to set up a base or two bases in this area up here. That I have a fast direction, like a straight line to Silverlight Hills, a straight line into this, and a kind of angled line into the Cursed Forest. That I don't need to run all the way constantly to the bottom. I'm done with Farm Bay Woods, so why would I stay here? The only reason would be because I love this castle, but this castle is just not... It can never be big enough for what I want to do. Like, it can never be big enough. So what are we gonna do? We have been looking at the map. Well, I have been looking at the map. And the only place that I can really see that would give me the option to build two bases as close as possible to one another is over here. And I was thinking making a workshop area over here with a giant-ass farm towards here for only flowers. And then setting up, I think, like a skeleton farm area over here that leads into a giant castle base over here. So basically setting up a base in this zone and setting up a base in this zone. I really hope that it works, that you can actually place them that close to one another. We're gonna have to test it out. But that is basically what I'm gonna do today, guys. I'm gonna check out what I need to actually get 3 levels done for a castle heart, so I can instantly build a level 3 castle heart over there. And I'm gonna set up my workshop area today, and maybe see if I can actually start setting up the flower area as well. The aesthetics on it maybe come later. We'll have to see what I can get done in this episode. But yeah, I'm gonna do some research, see what I need, and start moving. And eventually, we're gonna need to say goodbye to this base. I really love how this looks, and I'm probably gonna use the same look in my main hall, in my main base, but this castle alone is not gonna cut it anymore for me. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit of research, and I'll see you guys back once I start building up this area over here. Okay, let's start with the demolition work. Pretty satisfying. But yeah, before everything starts respawning again, now we have a better visual on how big it actually is here, right? So B, Castle Heart, obstructed by what? By my horse? What is the middle? I think this is somewhat of the middle. Let's start building out this area here. I can go around the puddle. Okay, let's actually do that. And let's fill in these two as well, and this one as well. So for 150, I can do... Like, I need a bigger vantage point. I need a bigger overview on what I actually just built. So how do we want to set this up? So let's quickly check. do I want to remove part of the back here? Because I'm kind of thinking now if I would make like this back area into one production hall, and then the front area into a garden area. I can make the, because if I do a castle in front, the amount of flowers I can place later on will be limited by this. See that no resources go lost, so let's start with picking everything up. So we found an acorn. That's the first can be planted within your territory. Is this also gonna? Yeah, I think it's for a different type of plant. Like it is the size of a tree, but I'm not really sure. Let's leave that for now. I think it grows like one of these birch trees. And if it grows a birch tree without circle around it, even with the circle around it, if it grows a birch tree, I would be really, really happy. We built way too many boxes. So let's demolish a couple. There we go, that's better. And let's place wood in here. Irons were in here, I think. Sorted. There we go. And then yeah, what do we want to do? That's the main question now, right? Do we want rat? You can go in the box as well. Resources, never waste resources. What do we want to do now, guys? Like that is the main question. Do we want to have? We want to have flowers in the front, definitely. So this could be an entrance into a workshop area. Then we have a 3 by 3 here for a workshop area. We have a 3 by 3 here for a workshop area. I think I'm gonna remove these, but I do want to keep the area. Let's do it like that. I was thinking about making the zombie farm like over here, but that would mean that the graveyards would, like if I could do this, that would be way better. Way better. What I'm also thinking is that I could make the graveyard area like up front, and then the flowers before that, or make the graveyard first. I have so many ideas. Like make the graveyard area like up here, and then beyond the graveyard area you find the flower area, or make the flower area here and then the graveyard, because the graveyard is not going to be extended, only the flower area is going to be extended. So kind of thinking like this is going to be my workshop area, definitely. Just need to figure out how I'm gonna set it up. So let's start with placing walls, so we can actually create a castle, and then maybe change the walls later on before it actually turns nighttime. So castle walls 66. That's probably not going to be enough. Okay, so now we got a castle area. Okay, so that's good. We do need an exit. There we go. Now we can actually exit the building. Okay, so I made my first run back to the base, basically to get more stone bricks and more planks, so I can actually build more walls. And on the way, I kind of came to a realization that, well, if we check out all of our refinements, I think all by all, I need 1 room for workshop, 1 room for forge, 1 room for alchemy lab, definitely a spawn area for the vermin, for the rats and everything else. Tail ring, definitely need a room for that, so that would be 4 rooms. This is still 4 rooms, that's an outside area. And the loom, we definitely need a good setup for the loom, so maybe 5 rooms that we actually need in this workshop area. The paper press, I don't know if we really need to have 4. I have 4 now in my base, and it is kind of not necessary. Like, once the research is all done, it's done. Like, we don't really need it. Well, you can say that about the sawmill as well, right? Once you crafted up everything in your end game, then you don't really need them anymore. But kind of feel like the paper press is less. So we only would need like 5 rooms, meaning that was kind of thinking like we have like a really big base already right now and not a lot of spot. If we go outside, the room that we have left right now is like minuscule. Like the room we have left right now for actually making a start of a farm for our flowers, which is also something we really wanted to do, is minuscule. So I kind of think that making the base already this big is kind of a mistake. But I'm gonna keep it right now like this. Basically because I got a roof on my head, and that means I can start placing the rooms. So yeah, let's start with that, right? We do have a wall here that basically needs to go. And let's see how far we get with placing, what was it, 4 or 5 rooms. Refinements, so we need a workshop room, a forge room, an alchemy room, a tailoring room, and the loom is also tailoring, so that's 4. And that's workshop, that's also 4. And paper press, I think it's gonna be library, and I kind of want to have, like, if I look at research, that's library as well. That's library as well. So kind of want to have the research desk, the study, and then the next one for the tier 3. I kind of want to have them all in my. We do need servant coffers, so we definitely need a room for servants here as well, because we want to go for the 18 servants that we can have in total. So definitely need to have one for that as well here. So 5 rooms. Okay, let's start building. So we could do something like, let's see how many we can place in one room. Why did it switch up? Is it gonna line up or not? No, we have a little spot in between. So that means I'm gonna need to not trigger myself. Do something like this. This one over here. This one over here. This one over here. Do not trigger myself. Or I could actually do 3-3 maybe. If I would do that, actually fits like 5 on a 3 wall, so I could make 5 in the back row here. Yeah, I think I like this better. And then maybe remove 1. Like 5 would be enough, right? How many would we need? We need 1 for copper. We would need 1 for sulfur, 1 for iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the whetstone and the scorched stone is basically the same one. I'm kind of thinking like I need to implement resources with compulsive count. So it's always easy that you have a couple copper in a smelter left. So you can basically, like if I had like in this one 200 and I do compulsive count, I could do this. And I could do the same with a sulfur. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I definitely need 4. And then I could do a 5th one for this and a 6th one to actually make up the whetstones or make up these scorched stones. Or I could do like 2 at the same time. Yeah, I kind of need 6. Kind of need 6. 4 for the basic elements. And then 2 to make up the regulars. If I would do... Setting up my workstations alone is like a massive pain in the ass. Blocked by units? I'm not a unit. Seriously, that doesn't work. Oh, there we go. So I could do something like this. And then have 2 crafting stations here and 2 crafting stations here. And then a bunch of chests on this wall, but the wall is kind of next to the door, so that means the chests are... Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Or I could do... Where was that funny room? If I would do something like this, and the crafting station here, here, and here, and that wouldn't work either. This is hard to set up, guys. This is hard to set up. I would need to set up the crafting stations as well, but creating 23 dark silver ingots to actually... Like, what I'm thinking right now is basically I don't want to craft 32 more dark silver ingots to make another anvil. So I'm thinking of like picking the anvil up that I have at home and like walking it all the way here. So here goes nothing. I cannot get hit once. I think if I get dropped off my horse, then it's done. This is gonna be one ass slow walk. I'm gonna avoid the roads as much as possible. Just for that. Like, I'm gonna need to avoid everything. Like every mob, every Group of enemies. Wait, where is it? Seriously? It's gone? Can I not do that? Oh, it was back? So it wasn't gone? Holy crap. This is gonna be worse than I thought. It's gonna be worse than I thought. Do I still have it or not? Because I came home after I opened the map. And I still had it. If I would... I did get knocked off my horse. I don't think I have it anymore. If I open build menu now... No, I don't have it anymore. So it doesn't work. You cannot transport your build items to another base. Meaning I'm gonna need to farm up the primal blood essence. Crap. I think I have one. So I'm gonna need to farm up all the resources again to actually build the anvil in this location. That sucks. This is gonna hurt so bad. This is gonna hurt so bad. Ugh. Yeah, slowly starting to break everything down, guys. Especially that last one. 25. I needed 32, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need to farm again. I did get the primal blood essence back. Oh, that is good. That means I don't need to go farm for that one anymore. I just need to make more dark silver ingots. And the last thing I need to do 8 hours later when I actually started this recording is place the last item. Most painful item in the game to actually break down. Now don't tell me that it doesn't fit. Seriously, I was kind of afraid for this. Oh, that means I'm gonna need to rethink how I'm gonna set this room up. I am almost like positive that I kinda don't. I'm not gonna need the smithy anymore. Like, I'm not gonna go for merciless or iron keys or the iron gear anymore. And I kinda don't need these anymore as well. No, I don't need these anymore as well. So everything that I need should be in here. So basically, I think we can always place it later back, right? But yeah, smeltery up and running, and I do have to say, I love the size. Like, I do love the size. And then we got a couple storage areas over here with general storage. All big chests, of course, because this is a production castle. So we're not gonna go really like aesthetically trying to make like libraries and such. Like, it is major, and I hope there's like a bigger chest even than these. And then basically can replace all these and like get more storage. And then the second workshop area, it is big enough. I do have to say, like 3 and 3. It's definitely more than enough. And then I did have room enough, so crafted stone, crafted woods, and then clays and bodies, stones and dust, and wood and dust. So yeah, I definitely have enough room for this one. And then the workbench is where we can make the dark silver crossbow. So definitely need to have the workbench up and running, and the floors, of course. I do have the floors. And then we go into our tailoring room with 3 looms and 3 tanneries. Definitely, like, if I need to go make yarn or eventually ghost yarn or silk or imperial thread later on, I can farm imperial thread already. But if I need to start making ghost yarn, like, I have 3 machines that can start working for me and not just one. And this is like this is what a production area should look like. And then we do have the tailoring bench, of course, for the next part of gear that we need to work towards. And all the chests that we need. Again, big chests. So we got big storage. It's not really filled up right now. Like, I need to start working on my production. now that I actually can. Then the next room is our spawn area. So we definitely wanted to have a bigger room. We can place 4 of these. So we definitely wanted to have a big room. So later on, when we need to get our hands on the silkworms, we can spawn these spiderlings. Well, basically in bulk, like 4 at the same time. And then for the mosquitoes as well, because they have these scales behind them. So definitely good that we can spawn 4 at the same time. And it is a closed off room. So we can kind of fight in here if they actually are gonna fight back. Castle Heart is kind of, well, yeah, in the middle of the room here. And then we do have like a little area, which I'm gonna need to make bigger. So for now I got 7 chests in here, but I should be able to place 9. But I can't, because I don't have the... Well, I basically can only... With this space, level, can only get 7. So now my next question is the servants that I have in my other... Like in my other castle. Can I actually bring him in here? Because picking up, as we saw earlier, picking up an item from our other castle and trying to like place it in this castle does not work. So far as I could see it. And then, yeah, here we come. This is why this is a production area, guys. So a big ass yard. We need to find a lot of flowers still. I do need to place the mushrooms in here. And then the most important flower of them all. Definitely need to find more of these, but I really love it that eventually, right now I'm over here, I got 100 tiles more, meaning that later on I'm probably gonna extend the castle, this part of the castle to here, so I have more room for the servants. Like I can actually make 9 servants and make the throne room a little bit bigger, and then, yeah, this is what we wanted, right? A lot of skeletons. Let's see what one actual farm from 12 will give us. This is already really good. Come on, boys, come on. Give me more bones and look at them. Yeah, they're already starting to produce. So it's a minute and a half for one skeleton. And basically you spawn, what, 3 skeletons per zone. So how many did we get from that? 360. And in 4.5 minutes, I can get my hands on 360 more. And 4.5 minutes later, 360 more. And this is only for one castle. Meaning that every 4.5 minutes between the 2 castles, I can get my hands on 720 bones. Now, this is also the reason why I'm gonna need to have like a really big area for the blood rose. Because, well, yeah, basically, I need blood roses to farm the skeletons, to get my bone farm up, to get the dust. Now there is more different types of ghouls that you can spawn, and there is one that we can spawn as well. So we could spawn in skeleton priests. They have a chance to drop bones, scorched stone, and grave dust. So even maybe it is more beneficial to me that right now in my game progress, that I don't even go for the skeletons anymore, but I actually go for the skeleton priests. They basically have spectral dust, scorched stone, and grave dust. But I really love this farm, like holy crap. This is gonna be so good for me. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna wrap up this episode, guys. I think this is the longest recording session I've ever done on V-Rising. I think around 9 hours. Plus minus 9 hours to actually, like, just place a castle, make it big enough. I think it was 5.5 hours or 6 hours at least to make the castle alone. Like, rebuild it, build it again, destroy certain parts, extend it again, make it smaller again. Like, how am I gonna set up the yard? Am I gonna have enough room for flowers? And, well, we do have to realize that eventually we're gonna have 100 tiles more. So, flower farm is not gonna be an issue. I do need one more row that I do know, or 2 more rows even, for the... Let's quickly check. which one it actually is. The mountain flower. I don't think it's called mountain. Bloods and the lotuses. So the highland lotus. Not really sure if you can... I presume there's gonna be a seed for this as well, so you can farm these as well, because you probably need them later on as well. But yeah, I'm gonna end my episode up here, guys. It might be a longer episode. I have no idea. I've got like 3.5 hours of footage. So yeah, like I said, this is the biggest and the longest recording session I've did so far on V-Rising. And we're not done yet. We kind of need to do, well, probably the most painful part of this entire adventure of mine. And that's breaking down this castle and rebuilding it here and setting up, well, I think up here, like I said before, I'm gonna make the second skeleton farm, and then up here we're gonna do our main castle, this production, and this is like the aesthetically grand hall castle, I guess that's how you could say it. And then we can test how close we can actually build the castles next to one another, right? Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you want to see more of my quest progression, and my let's play here in V-Rising or any other games I might play on my channel, just hit that subscribe button, guys. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.